Rachel, we heard from you first. Perhaps you want to lead us off with a few of your key takeaways.
Yeah, I think two points to take away here. Expect additional litigation around grants and memo dismissals, and focus on grants and memo dismissals moving into 2020. I think Jacob raised a very prudent point that seeking dismissal is not something that you're going to want to passively sit by and hope DOJ decides to do on its own. I think this is going to become a new key feature of defending yourself in these False Claims Act cases, and I expect to see that continue. With respect to our emerging trends, I'd point you back to the focus on cybersecurity and the continued enforcement efforts in the cybersecurity space. And I expect to see additional cases related to misrepresentations regarding cybersecurity events, especially as we have additional public breaches shining a light on, the fact that those misrepresentations may have happened. Jacob?
Sure. I think my main takeaway is going to be not to lose the forest for the trees when looking at the guidance. I think the real benefit of the cooperation guidance, the grants and memo, are that they're really telling us what factors DOJ is interested in and what practices they kind of identify as being related to those factors. And from my perspective, that tells me a lot more about how I should be handling my representation of clients than just whether I can get cooperation credit and whether this is a case that could be dismissed. It tells me a lot about how I should position the case in the effort to get the Department of Justice to decline to intervene, which in and of itself is a pretty significant win in most cases. It also tells me how I should be approaching positioning my case at the motion to dismiss level and summary judgment. So my big takeaway is to take the benefit of the guidance, not just for the specific issues they're addressing, but for the larger factors that Department of Justice is considering and the types of practices which the defense counsel should really be building their case around at the very earliest stages.